2 for a veteran? It's not much to ask.
Hello, yes. I'm the Dean of History, and scribe work when I can find some quiet time.
You know you can afford a septim or two. It's best you leave me be. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. What? You see a man fallen on hard times, and you think he's been like that forever? I was there. I fought in the Great War. I was on the field at Anvil. And when I was struck down, they left me. You understand? They left me for dead. I didn't leave them. It's best you leave me be. Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
You lost? Yeah, you need something? Jarl Elisif the Fair. Poor woman. Losing her husband and king like that. It was a dark day for us all. Damn! That reminds me. I have a delivery to make to her steward, Falk Firebeard. He ordered a special bottle of Stras Mackay rum. Saved me a lot of trouble. Here. Take it to the Blue Palace. I showed up to watch, yeah. I don't know if they were right to execute him for what he did, but I'll tell you something. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Listen, Rogvir and I grew up together. It was us, a few others, and Vivienne. Vivienne Onus. I have no idea why, but one day I told Rogvir I liked her. It was a stupid thing to do. He mocked me incessantly after that. From that point forward, every time Vivienne and I were anywhere close to each other, he made sure to humiliate me. He beat me up, dumped meat on my head, anything he could get away with. Once he even slipped a beehive into my bed. We were children, sure, but Rogvir never outgrew that immaturity or his cruelty. So any talk about him being an honorable Nord? Pure folly. You could say that. I own the place. Well, okay. My father owns the Winking Skeever, but it's the family business, so it'll be mine when he kicks off.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Yes? It's best you leave me be. Sure. Whatever.
Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist.
What do you need,
I
stranger?
should say you've met the most talented bard in all of Skyrim.
Where the dragon attacked? We've heard rumors of death and fire from the skies, but no real news. Then we should soon be selling arrows by the bushel. A sword is no good against a dragon. Aye, but I'll be here in Solitude for longer still. Fiata's skill as a Fletcher drew me to this place. I wanted to learn. And there is still much of Skyrim I wish to see. I hear there is a city, Windhelm, that is nearly white with... what do you call it? Oh yeah, snow. And far to the west lies a ruin, Volskag. Inside there's said to be a wall, black as night, and it speaks in the ancient dragon tongue. There are wonders in this place I never dreamed imaginable.
Feel free to make requests. There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times. Generally, if you want rumors, you should talk to Corpulus. That said, I did see a visitor pass through on his way to the Blue Palace. Oh, no. But being surrounded by good music, good drink, and good friends is all I've ever asked for. Only in that I'm a graduate. I work here at the Winking Skeever. I would highly recommend it, though. Talk to Viarmo if you're interested. You should think about staying the night. Corpulus keeps a clean inn.
By blade or by spell. If you want it dead, I'll make it dead. I fight with both blade and spell. You might say I'm equipped to handle nearly any threat. So, shall we talk price? If you change your mind, seek me out here.
Look, I don't really know you.
If you're interested, traveler.
Yes? Thanks. You were there for Rogvir's execution. Perhaps, but necessary. My cousin Fura is somewhere out there in Skyrim right now, fighting Ulfric Stormcloak and his damned insurrectionists. She wouldn't have to be there at all if it weren't for Rogvir. And my aunt wouldn't have to worry about her daughter.
It's not much to ask.
You really don't know? He lets Ulfric Stormcloak escape Solitude. Ulfric rides in, murders the High King, and Rogvir lets him ride right back out. Most people head over to the Winking Skeever. If you're not interested in music or drink, you can at least talk to Corpulus. He can fill you in on any of the latest gossip. All right then.
Welcome to Angela's Aromatics. Can I help you with some herbal needs? You're a traveler, correct? Have you been to Whiterun? Wonderful. I hadn't really hoped to run into someone who'd been there. My daughter Fura was assigned to Whiterun after she joined the Imperial Army. I was hoping you might have met her. I haven't heard from her lately. I've tried talking to Captain Aldous, but he hasn't been any help. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Anything you can find out from Captain Aldous would be welcome news. We mostly carry herbs and alchemical ingredients, that sort of thing. Before the war, our stock was mostly used for aromatic use in homes. Yes. These days, we have more people like you coming in, looking for healing and the like. No. Mostly, I'm just a simple herbalist. Lami over in Mothall should be able to help you. Take a look.
Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions. Ignore them. Focus on your targets. I'm waiting. Need something? Not my finest hour. Rogvir was a fine and honorable man. Sometimes you just do what needs to be done. You don't have to hate a man to kill him. Though, admittedly, it helps. Not my finest hour. No, I think he was entirely wrong. Rogvir's execution was justified and necessary. Being honorable might make you a good man, but it doesn't make you right. Be a better world if it did. Generally, posting information is need to know only. I've been trying to find the time and place to let her know. Her daughter was sent to Whiterun. The skirmishes there have been violent. The Whiterun legate, he needed to know the Stormcloak positions. He sent out a party to scout the area. They happened upon a large force. I'm told none of them made it back. Previn Morard, Angela's daughter, was in that scouting party. She needs to be told.
Been up to the Blue Palace? It is a sight to see, even if it is filled with fops.
Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
It's good to see a fresh face. You wouldn't have happened to... You got Aldous to tell you something. I knew you would. What did he say? I told her. I told her the Imperial army would kill her. That this was a war of Jarls and Imperial generals, and we had no part in it. She just wouldn't hear it. It was brave of you to come to me with this. I can't thank you for it, not for this. But you have done me a service. I hope your parents are proud of you. They have a lot of reason to be.
We provide clothing for all of Solitude's most influential residents. But for you, I'll make an exception. It's not an insult, just an observation. If I were walking around with a wound, I would want you to tell me to see a doctor. Your outfit is something of an open wound, where attire is concerned. Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should see what we have available. You're really going to the Blue Palace? That presents an opportunity. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Raymond's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit. Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raiment. Thank you for your patronage. Oh, what delight. Another charming customer. It is when my customers waste time chatting and not buying. Radiant Raiment has the finest attire in all of Skyrim. That is how we get business. Breeches, gowns, clothes for any occasion, really.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Yes.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Maybe you should look for work instead of begging for coin.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory. It's an honor to have Viarmo for instruction on drum, but it's far too reserved for my tastes. And why wouldn't I be? We sing tales of kings, queens, and their politics, 'tis true. But do you know who really makes history? The person who writes it. Farewell, stranger.
Feel free to make requests. There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times. Sure. What can I do for you? Yes. Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the Dragonborn comes with a voice-wielding power of the ancient Nord art. Believe, believe, the Dragonborn comes. It's an end to the evil of all Skyrim's foes. Beware, beware, the Dragonborn comes. For the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows. You'll know, the Dragonborns come.
What?
By blade or by spell. If you want it dead, I'll make it dead. All you need to do is pay my fee.
Hmm? Viren said you got here just before the execution. Must have been a lovely first sight. Huh. You know, you've got a certain fire in your eyes. Just like my Beerend. Please, feel free to look around. We've got a bit of everything. Baron's my husband. He works the forge up at Castle Dower. I barely see him nowadays, what with him filling orders for the army. No, that was an ugly affair. High King Torig's death has turned the whole town on its head. Between you and me, he wasn't even that good a king. All of those rambling speeches about the Empire this and the Empire that. Some might call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Food and produce here.
The finest fish here. Caught daily.
Make it quick. I'm really not in the mood. Mm-hmm. You lost? Oh, if you're looking for a good attitude, go see the bards. They'll fake it for you if nothing else. If you're looking for truth instead, see Noster. He's a good example of what life has to offer. And if you're just looking to feel good, go get some spiced wine from Yvette. But whatever you do, just leave me alone. All right then.
Yes?
Fresh fish. Straight from the fjords.
Rogvir. He opened a gate and they executed him for it. He opened a gate and the wrong man rode out of it. If that man hadn't been Ulfric's Stormcloak. If Ulfric hadn't killed High King Torig. But it was Ulfric. And he did kill the High King in honorable combat. My brother refused to allow the Imperials to take revenge for the deed. So now he's dead. Then like Rogvir, you have a Nord's heart. It's hard for many of the people here to understand. I think Aldous understands. I don't think I could have stayed here if anyone else had... I think I need to be done talking for the moment. I'm not looking for conversation. I should make sure Sfari's okay.
Fresh fish. Straight from the fjords.
Apples, tomatoes, leeks, and cabbages.
Plenty of fresh fish for you.
Fresh and ripe.
Sorry, yes. It's been hard on her. The girl misses her uncle. I've tried to explain that Rogvir did something bad, and that we all have to be accountable for our actions. But the child feels what she will. Down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire company workers and those red wave thugs.
Apples, tomatoes, leeks.
Everything I've got on display, really.
Fresh and ripe.
These are troubled times. On your guard out there.
You look like you could do with a ripe apple. Or a tomato. Cabbage. Or leek. Take a look. I have my ways, but it's not easy these days. The Black Blood Marauders have been plundering ships off the coast. A lot of people been hurt by their foolishness. That I do. I had a messenger from Dragon Bridge stop here on his way to the Blue Palace not too long ago. He was very nervous. Mentioned something about needing help. Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
The Divines
Yeah, you
saved
need
me
something.
from the streets, and they can save you from your trials as well. May the Divines guide and keep you.
New in town, right? And if you need a place to sleep, head over to the Winking Skeever. We keep a fine...
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you? Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. I need someone to convince them to release it. Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time. They're adequate. Honestly, I rely on the business brought in by the burning of King Olaf, and that's not likely to happen this year. Well, it's a great big festival put on by the bards every year. They burn an effigy of old King Olaf. It's quite a bit of fun. The bards give out spiced wine during the festival, so they put it in a big order. And then, for weeks after, demand is so high, I can barely keep up. But with the death of High King Torrig, the festival has been declared in poor taste. So it looks like it won't happen this year. Oh yes, a secret family recipe. The only good thing my father Octave ever did. In fact, it's so good, no one else in Skyrim even tries to make any. Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
Fresh and ripe.
You have questions? It annoys us. Yes? You talk to Egg Brothers. Deja has no words for you. You have no knowledge of who you speak to. Go away. You want knives? You want them in your belly? No? Then you stop talking to Deja.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding, you see. So many details to work out. Ah, yes. If she wants to pay the 2,000 gold tariff, then we'll be all set. I suppose I could make an exception. I do like her spiced wine. Fine. Tell Yvette's son her shipment will be brought up to Solitude shortly. Some say I got my position because my cousin is the Emperor. Nonsense. The man's given me nothing. He can't even be bothered to attend my wedding. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. I really need to get back to planning my wedding.
Lady Atia says my voice is second only to hers, but she's selling me short.
Spiced wine for you? It's a family recipe. Thank you so much. I swear it's a fight with them every shipment. Here's something for your troubles. Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
Few can resist my charm.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Hello, my child. RK, watch over you. You mean Rogvir? Yes, I made an appeal to Captain Aldous. He allowed Rogvir to have a proper Nord burial, as is the custom in Solitude. All my life, I practically grew up in the hall. My father and mother were the priest and priestess of RK before me, you see? I believe I was put here to protect this place from the darkness that pervades Solitude. This city has a long history of madness and murder. The Wolf Queen, Pelagius, the death of High King Torek, and now, public executions. My books tell the stories, have no doubt. As pretty as its streets are, as jovial as the bards may be, darkness is drawn to Solitude. May Arche bless you with a long life.
Please, take pity on an old madman. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. My master has abandoned me, abandoned his people, and nothing I say can change his mind. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Won't you please help? Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as a Jarl. No, no. Such people are below him. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Said it had been ages since they had last had tea. Oh, and you'll need the hip bow. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. Oh, you just don't understand. Without him, I am not free. Without him, I am doomed. All of his empire shall fall into chaos. Without his guidance, our homeland is falling apart. North wages war against South. The holy flame flickers and dies. We need his return. Oh, but I'm sure he'll repay you when he comes to his senses. His favor is a powerful, powerful thing, and so very worth any inconveniences. He stays in the Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. The doors are locked, and only Falk Firebeard can grant entry. But I hear the maids, Una and Erdi, know how to enter it for cleaning. Surely they can help for such an important matter. He is a great man, but one rarely praised. He rules twin empires that span the length and breadth of our minds. All know him, but few can name him. But he has forbidden me from saying his name. He says it distracts him, and woe to those who draw his ire. But you will know him when you see him. He's the one who made me like this. Uh-huh.
Yes? No, that honor is Sabeel Stentor's. A smart man steers clear of Stentor, and keeps himself out of the dungeon when she's having a bad day. Let's just say that the headsman's axe may not be the worst way for a Solitude jail prisoner to die. Look at that. I've told you to watch your tongue, and mine is waggling. I've said enough. I make sure Erica keeps breathing. Oh, I think you'll find that magic is rare in Skyrim. Winterhold, though, the college there has it in abundance. Look there if you wish to learn. You are excused.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafengar's people will always be safe under my rule.
Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragon Bridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragon Bridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
You lost? I've done my part. Dragon Bridge will have extra guards. Falk Firebeard will find a way to take care of the cave. All right, then.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torrig was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig. And so he came before my husband and he shouted with that terrible voice, like something out of a legend or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say, for it grieves me to speak of it. A question I am all too familiar with. one my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? It's quite fetching, actually. The craftsmanship is excellent. Oh, really? Well, you can tell them that I will be putting in a request for a few dresses quite soon. Be well. Pray for Solitude and my... Oh, I thought that matter was handled. I think Falk is taking care of that. Keep the faith. General Tullius will win this war.
Do you have business with the court? Oh, right, the rum. Thank you. I developed a taste for it after a fair-weather trip to Hammerfell. Here, this is for you. You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you. I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now, but everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Erikur. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You'd do well to remember that. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
You and me, we're the only people around who aren't complete fools. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that. Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif herself asks. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
What is it? Yes? Think you might be in the wrong place, friend.
Be quick. If I needed something from you, you would know it. Nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered unless I'm expecting something from you. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial task to set your mind on. We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drained. I know of a den nearby you can wipe out as a precaution. I give and I give. So, you wish to master the arcane arts? I was a member of the court during the reign of Torig's father. It was Torig who appointed me to the position. Very. I helped raise him. Oh, I could not have been more proud to see Torig on the throne. He made a fine king. A fine king. I was a member of the court during... I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was. And I know when one should speak, and when one should hold their tongue. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Because Ulfric needed a symbol. Someone he could defeat that represented the Empire. The White Gold Concordat, the banning of Talos worship. Torig's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Torig became that symbol. No, even after Islot died, the Moot voted to make Torig High King of Skyrim. But Ulfric was at that Moot, continually talking about Skyrim's independence in terms just shy of treason. I don't think Ulfric knew how much Torig respected him for that. If Ulfric had asked Torig directly to stand up, to declare independence, Torig might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the Imperial Army even now. Because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the God was once Tiber Septim the man, and this is his empire. And Torig wasn't ready to let it fall apart. I was, to my shame. Ulfric showed up at the gates of Solitude requesting an audience. We thought he was here to ask Torig to declare independence. By the time we realized Ulfric was here to challenge Torig, it was already too late. By Nord custom, once the challenge was issued in court, Torig had no choice but to accept. Had he not, Ulfric would have had cause to call a new moot and a new vote for High King. Torig had some martial training, of course, but it mattered little that day. When Ulfric's lips parted, when he unleashed the power of the Thu'um, that shout, that ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Torig asunder. Take care of yourself, and always remember, the world is ripe with people looking to spill your blood.